Well, welcome to the newsletter again. Today is March 27th. Today is the 70th day of the legislative session, and it's Happy Seward's Day. So 150 years ago, the United States purchased Alaska from Russia. But you know, March 27th has another meaning for me. It is the date of the earthquake, March 27th, 1964. So 47 years ago, that terrible earthquake hit Alaska. I remember actually being in our kitchen in Fairbanks and the significant quaking that happened even up in Fairbanks. And the center of the earthquake was some miles away. So March 27th, the Good Friday earthquake, as those of us who are here call it. So I also wanted to call out that the University of Alaska celebrates its 100-year birthday this year. So that's pretty cool. It started in 1917 as the Agricultural College and the School of Mines up in Fairbanks. It had 6 students. And then in 1935, it was renamed the University of Alaska. I grew up playing on that campus in Fairbanks. That, of course, was the only campus we had at the time. Have a lot of good memories about that. And, of course, my youngest son has both his bachelor's and master's degree in electrical engineering from that campus. So, items that have passed or been worked on this last week, of course, the budget. The budget came over from the House. It's now in our Senate Finance Committee, where it will be deliberated. You will have opportunity to offer public testimony on it, and we'll keep you informed about that. I wanted to also call out the fact that the Senate passed the Uber bill. It took us approximately 4 hours to debate through 24 amendments to the bill related to Uber. It ultimately passed 14-5. Then education. We are working on the budget, but there are also a couple bills that will bring about savings in education. And I serve on the Education Committee, so we're hearing these very interesting bills. Senate Bill 96 is a bill that would address promoting distance learning, virtual classrooms, ability for students to challenge courses, the ability for teachers to pool to obtain health insurance, possibly less expensively. One of the things we hear from the education community is the highest cost item for them is health insurance and health care services. And that's true, actually, of all Alaskans. So that's Senate Bill 96, if you're interested. And then the other Senate bill is Senate Bill 87 that pertains to school construction. So looking at more efficient ways to construct schools, creating templates for schools so that we're not creating new designs every time we build a school. So that's Senate Bill 87. And lastly, I just want to make everyone aware that next week, April 4th, is the Municipality of Anchorage election. And there's a piece in it that relates to our district. You know, our district goes all the way from East Anchorage all the way down to Portage. And so this particular piece on the election would pertain to the Turnagain Arm, creating a policing area. You may be aware that the state troopers would not be responding to acute, urgent situations in those small communities, Indian Bird, Portage, actually all the way across to Fire Island. So this particular item on the agenda would allow the communities, the folks that live in these communities, to impose a tax on themselves. But they need all of us to agree to that. So it would be a 0.5 mill rate, so they'd pay about $50 per $100,000 home assessment. So that's something that they would impose on themselves. It would not affect other residents in the municipality. So thanks very much for listening. There's some good stuff in the newsletter this week. See you next week.